What's going on, everybody? Welcome to After Prison Show, and this is probably one of the later videos that I'm filming. It's like 4:30 in the afternoon. The video for today is up. The comment section is going in on me as usual, but it is what it is. It's been a busy day today. I did the Bobo, filmed a video, edited a video. Cody helped me with that. Went over to the house, was checking out work that was going on over there, came back, now we're filming this video. Folks, what I want to do right now is I want to give you guys an update on a situation that we haven't talked about in quite some time, and a situation that I'm sure you guys are eager to know all about. And what that situation is the Bryan situation. Now, from time to time, people have been asking what's been going on with that. Where's the Bryan update? Joe, tell us what's going on. Well, folks, that's what I'm getting ready to do today. And the reason I haven't been able to do a Bryan update before is because I didn't have anything to be able to update you guys with. And for a little bit of time, I was feeling like I didn't know what was going to happen with this situation. But folks, something has happened with this situation, hence the fact we're doing this video today. So this is going to start with a little bit of backstory. I'm going to try to go through this as quickly as I possibly can, just to get to what you guys really want to hear. Ever since I went and talked with the detective and the police and was trying to pursue the charges against this guy for the construction fraud, I haven't had anything else I was able to tell you guys about. I mean, there's been nothing else. When I went and talked with the police and the detective that day, I was supposed to send a certified letter to Bryan demanding payment for the money that he owes me for work that was not completed at the house. Well, I would end up going and doing that certified letter. I wrote the letter in my truck in front of the house, demanding payment from Bryan, saying that you've got 15 days to pay me back my money, or I'm going to be taking legal action against you. Well, that 15 days was up like at the beginning of February. So it's been like a month and a half since all of that was supposed to be up. Charges were supposed to be pressed, but none of that happened. And I'm going to get to why in just a moment. Well, in the time since all of that, the detective has called me like twice. He's left me messages, hey, what's going on? Do you want to still pursue this? I haven't heard from you. And, the first time I didn't know who it was, so I didn't answer. And then the second time, I tried to call him back and I couldn't get him on the line. Well, fast forward to just a couple of days ago, probably the day before yesterday. I'm sitting at the house in between filming, Bobo, running back and forth to the house. I had to do some paperwork for my taxes. And while I was doing that paperwork, I've got to figure out like who I paid, how much I paid. And I'm able to, line up certain payments with payments made via Cash App. So as I'm doing my bank statements, going through my bank statements and trying to figure out what was for what, I come up to a period of time where I know, well, this is when Bryan was working with me, and I'm pretty sure this is the money that I was paying Bryan. So as I see it on the bank statement and I try to match it up with Cash App, I'm having a tough time doing so because as I'm looking through my payment history on Cash App, I can't find Bryan. And the first thing that I'm thinking is this guy deleted his Cash App profile. That's what I'm thinking. But then as I look a little deeper into it, I realize he didn't delete it at all. And the reason why I couldn't find him was because he changed his name. He's no longer going by Bryan on Cash App. He's actually going by the alias, under the alias Frank. Frank sounds like a pretty nonchalant type of a name. Now, what's interesting about this is he was able to change the name, which is in big bold letters at the top of the page or whatever. But underneath that, you've got your code that you use to make your Cash App payments. Well, folks, his code is damn near his name. I mean, it's his name. And you can't change that. So I'm seeing Frank, and then I'm seeing, his name as the code that you need to be able to send him money. So when I'm looking at this, I'm like thinking to myself, why did he do this? And a number of things come to mind. Is he working for somebody else under the alias Frank? Maybe he's in Mexico. I doubt he is, though. Then I think to myself, well, if he is doing that, I hope he's able to complete whatever work that he is doing for somebody who's paying him via Cash App. And I wonder what he's telling those people when they ask him what the code is to send him money, and he has to explain the entirely different name. That ought to be a red flag right there, but then again, I saw 3 or 4 of them with this guy, and I completely bypassed those. Hopefully people are smarter than I am, though, or at least I was. So I'm thinking potentially change his name because he's doing work for somebody else under this name, or I'm thinking he's changed his name because he's trying to avoid prosecution, which I'm not trying to let him avoid. This man took thousands of dollars from me, stole materials, left work unfinished, and maybe it's better that he left the work unfinished because the work that he was doing, a lot of it was incorrect. As you guys have seen with recent videos of us having to go back and fix what other people have done. Him being a big part of that. So those two things are going through my mind as to why he potentially changed his name on this payment service provider. Well, I do the only thing I can after, seeing this. Joe Kashi 6'9" all day, I immediately call the police. Police, I've got some pertinent information about this guy. I get the cop on the phone and I haven't talked to this guy in probably a month. And I'm telling him I'm telling on Bryan all about this situation. Hey, this man has changed his name. He's now going by the alias Frank. But the cop is telling me, look, there ain't nothing we can do. Yeah, the cop's telling me there ain't nothing we can do until we figure out what happened to your certified letter that you sent. Now, the cops told me one of two things was going to happen. Either that letter was going to get received and I would get some kind of a verification or notification that it was, or it would have got returned to sender. Well, it never got returned to sender. I never got the letter back, and I don't know if anybody ever did get the letter. And the only address that I had was, well, basically where we went and picked up the box truck from. And I don't know necessarily who lives there. Got a couple of ideas, but that's neither here nor there. But the cop, again, is just telling me, look, we can't do nothing until we figure out what happened with the certified letter. The cop is also telling me, look, I got all his information right here. I'm ready to move forward with this thing. I want to go lock this guy up for you. We're going to get him with this construction fraud. I'm happy hearing that, which is crazy. This is a prison YouTube channel, and we're talking about getting somebody locked up who rightfully deserves that. They deserve this. So the cop tells me, he's like, look, you need to go to the post office and see if they can track this thing down or figure out what the hell happened. Maybe it got lost and is sitting back at the post office. I don't think that that's the case at all, but I'm telling the cop, okay, that's what I'm going to do. He asked me if I still got the receipt. I don't. I've got a picture of the receipt, a picture of the letter, all that good stuff, because I took pictures of it as I was getting ready to send it to Bryan, and I sent those pictures to the police. So even though I don't got the physical receipt, I do got the picture. So I'm sure I can get the tracking number off of the receipt from that picture, go to the post office, and figure out what happened. Well, folks, Detective Joe Kashi, I had a little, something smart came to mind. And what that was why the hell do I got to go all the way to the post office? Why can't I just go online and see if I can track this through the website? So I go to the post office website, I type in the tracking number, and folks, you're never going to believe what happened. You are never going to believe what it said when I typed in that tracking number. I'm going to need you guys to go ahead and like and comment if you want to see part 2. Do this like a TikTok video. You're going to have to subscribe to After Prison Show Snapchat Premium if you want the rest of this story. I'm kidding. I'm getting ready to tell you. I typed in the tracking number, and it was tracked. The letter was tracked. That certified letter, it was found. And the information that came up, it said that it was received by a person. Because when you send something certified, somebody has to sign for that. Can't just leave that in the mailbox. It has to be documented that it's been received. And lo and behold, that was the notification that popped up on the screen, received by a person, signed for. And you know what the crazy damn thing about it is? Whoever was at that address when that knock on the door came, and it's not the police, but it's the postman instead. And they opened that door, and they signed for that packet, or that letter. That was all we needed, folks. That was it. By them signing for that letter, whoever signed for it, I have done everything I'm supposed to do, and have now got proof that I did, according to the law, what I needed to do. Send a letter demanding my money back for the work that you did not complete. To the last known address that I got for this guy, the only address where I picked the box truck up from. And so long as that letter's received, or even if it's kicked back, even if the letter came back to me, I did everything that I needed to do, according to the law. And I got back on the phone with the police, and guess what? It's been a long time coming, folks, but charges are now being filed. In fact, I don't know when you're going to be seeing this video, but we can pretty much just go ahead and say by the time you're seeing this, there's warrants for you, Bryan. You probably thought I forgot about you. Probably moved on. I had a whole bunch of other stuff take place in the house. But I didn't. I didn't. Because you know what else kind of really rubbed me the wrong way, aside from, running across, your alias on Cash App was the fact that on Cash App, everything's documented. So there's all of that. We got so much evidence against this guy. The text messages, you know, paint a very vivid picture of what took place. Hell, the YouTube videos. We could use those as evidence in court. There's no way in hell you're beating this. You're not going to beat this. But the other thing that really grinded my gears or really rubbed me the wrong way was when I saw on Cash App how much money I sent this dude. You know, one of the first text messages that I'm using as evidence against this guy is where he outlines all of the work that he's going to do with a little price beside each job, and then he's got a grand total, which is $6,800. Via Cash App. Just Cash App alone. We're not talking about cash. We're not talking about Zelle. Two other ways that I paid this guy. Just on Cash App. Folks, take a guess how much money I've sent this guy. $4,400. You are absolutely correct. $4,400. 4.4K is what Cash App says. So what an awesome day, you know, to know that justice will at some point be served. When you get pulled over, when they run your name or your prints, or you get locked up for doing this again, potentially. Because this ain't the first time that you've done this. I got every right to do what I'm doing, pursuing these criminal charges against this dude. Because not only is he going to get locked up and he's going to have to do some time behind this, probably a violation as well, you're also going to have to pay me restitution. And just like how I got to pay some restitution to this foundation company that I brought out at first, I got to pay them $500. I need to do that this upcoming week. Don't let me forget to do that. You know, I'm going to pay them $1 a month for 500 months. Maybe $10 a month. Even if you decided that for $4,400, even if you wanted to pay me $1 a month for the rest of your life, every month you're going to have to think about the situation that you did wrong. And I'm not going to carry this grudge, because it's not even a grudge. It's just a situation that went bad. It was a bad business deal that turned criminal on your part. You know, once you do get apprehended and you do get found guilty and you end up serving some time and you have to pay me that restitution back, I'm over it at that point. Will you be, though? But like I said, I don't want to make this super long. That's it. How long will it take for this dude to have to face the music? Ain't no telling. The fact of the matter is, you, sir, are on the run for real now. You got you a nice little felony warrant chasing after you. So, I want to wrap this up, and one thing that I want to do as I do so, you know, I look at that amount that I sent this dude, this $4,400, and I think to myself, now, where we are in the house, and so many other things have gone wrong. Bryan was just a pebble at the top of the mountain. We've snowballed, and hopefully we've kind of plateaued out, and that snowball can just fade away. But I think about that $4,400, and I'd really like to have that back right now. I would really like to be able to subtract that from this grand total budget that we are invested into this house. But we can't, and we probably won't be able to do that. We'll probably never be able to do that. But the fact of the matter is, with everything that's gone on, everything that's gone wrong, how things are actually starting to go right now, I do find some kind of like moderate resolve from that particular chapter of this story, this felon flipper saga, this first house. You know, at least in that regard where everything got just so messed up. And then I would make just countless mistakes after that trying to rebound. At least something is going to be done about that part of this. When this guy gets arrested, I'm going to have to go to court. I'm going to have to point this guy out in the courtroom. I got no problem doing that for this particular situation. And no matter how you might feel about what I'm doing in regards to this, Joe, you're a snitch, even though this is business. We're not in the streets. I want to just ask you guys one final thing as I wrap this up. You know, how would you feel if somebody stole $4,400 from you? Probably be pretty pissed off about it. And if you say that you wouldn't be, and that you could forgive it and just, you know, oh man, you know, whatever. I'm not going to go press charges on them. I'm going to hold court in the street. Yeah. I wanted to share this update with you guys, and I really know you're going to have a lot to say about this, so I hope you'll leave a like and a comment on this video letting me know just what you do think about this. And hopefully the next time that I'm bringing you guys an update, I'm telling you about a court date that we got to go to. And also, let me clean this up just a little bit as well. In terms of the court case that I've got, in terms of the civil judgment that I've got upcoming, that's on this upcoming Thursday, I'm just going to go ahead and pay them people. You know, I was going to go to court. I was going to make a big old defense, but I'm dead to rights. You know, I was wrong. I signed the contract. It is what it is. I'm going to pay them. And not because I don't feel like I can't win that case, because I know I can't win the case. Maybe I could put on a good show and get a good video out of it. But the real reason why I'm just going to go ahead and pay it and get it over with is because, yo, I'm not trying to be anywhere where there's more than 100 people. In a courtroom, I ain't trying to go up in there. Not with this sickness and this national disaster that we're currently dealing with. But neither here nor there. Hey, look, that's it. I hope you guys enjoyed this video, and if you did so, please leave a like and a comment letting me know exactly what you thought about this. And as always, until next time, enjoy life, the free world, never take a moment for granted, and make the most of every day. Peace! You know what that is right there? That's 8 fingers pointing you out in the courtroom. I ain't gonna use just one.